We welcome in Dr. Kevin Kavanagh of Health Watch USA. He's been keeping us update on the latest news, the latest research regarding the coronavirus and COVID-19, the disease it causes. Dr. Kavanagh, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
We're glad to have you. As always, masking is a big part of the current debate among all of us lay people these days. The governor of Massachusetts requiring the public to wear masks as we start to open up in Kentucky. Governor Beshear is strongly encouraging it. All major airlines now require masks. The Costco chain is requiring masks of everyone, but there are still a lot of people who say it isn't going to do anybody any good and they're not going to wear them.
Well, I'm on the side of wearing masks. I mean, if there is even a chance that it's going to prevent the spread, we should be doing that. And this is not a partisan issue. For example, the governor from Massachusetts is a Republican. And definitely you need to wear a mask. And this isn't so much to prevent you from getting the virus, but if you're an asymptomatic carrier, which is a huge problem with this pandemic, it prevents you from spreading the virus.
Definitely. You mentioned in some material you provided to me that there is another study showing hydroxychloroquine may make COVID-19 worse.
Yes, and that was just posted up on the internet. And you can kind of get an idea of how I look at information when I just read the title of the study. It set up a number of interesting questions. It was from the Cleveland Clinic in Dubai. So first of all is Cleveland Clinic, which you would think is an American institution, now has a big hospital in Dubai. And I'd like to personally see resources centered here in the US. Hopefully that is a cost-added type of an endeavor. But the other thing is it's from Dubai, which is normally more of a warm climate, and they still have COVID-19. So that kind of throws a little bit of water on my hopes of that this epidemic may go away or be very, very much mitigated during the summer. And I'm still hoping for that. But this is now the 6th paper in a row which has not found a positive result with hydroxychloroquine. And this is the 2nd paper which has shown it may cause some harm. This paper also showed that it did not have a beneficial effect. And so that is not a good study for promoting to the public, hey, this may work. Nothing I can see in the medical literature indicates that it does work. So really, this is very, very experimental. At this point, it wouldn't even be selected as a drug for a study. I wouldn't be hanging my hopes on this.
All right, but there are some drugs that have been talked about that may have more hope. One of them is going out this week to some clinics for trial, isn't it?
That's correct, and that's the plus side to this pandemic. That's remdesivir. That showed some positive effects being used in late stage COVID, and they're hoping if they use it earlier that it will be even more positive, and so that is a good thing. FDA is rushing it for approval. And also vaccines are coming online quite rapidly, and that is another very positive thing. There's a number of companies making vaccines. I've heard it's upward in the hundreds, and they have at least 6 to 10, which they think are very hopeful. They're even starting to manufacture the vaccines even before they know that they'll work, so that if they do work, we'll have them available for the public. And they're also talking about not doing the standardized testing, but treating people more like, well, unfortunately, rhesus monkeys, where they're doing challenge tests, or they're talking about doing challenge tests on people, and they have a number of volunteers in the thousands so that they could rapidly get results and get this out to the public. Does there still need to be more testing? Definitely, but this is going to cut the timeline down from getting vaccines out, and I think that that is a good thing, which the administration is doing.
What's a challenge test?
A challenge test is where you just give the bug to the person. So normally you have 2 groups, a control group and a group which gets the vaccine. You let them go out in the community as normal, and a year later or a half a year later, you look and see who does better. In this case, you'd give someone a vaccine, monitor their antibodies. Once they look like they're immune, you would actually challenge them or give them COVID-19. And there's a lot of medical ethical considerations here, but this does show how serious this epidemic is, even that these tests are considered and that you have thousands of people volunteering to have this done.
Wow. But that would also, as you say, speed up the process. We're hearing hopeful people saying maybe by the first of the year we could have a vaccine. What do you think of that?
Yes, maybe by the first of the year, that would be excellent. And so we, need to be hopeful for that. I've stressed this before that the narrative, well, we'll let herd immunity do this, probably isn't going to work. If you go to healthwatchusa.org and click on our COVID-19 button up on the top of the page, you can go to an article I wrote in Infectious Control today regarding herd immunity. This virus is too infectious to hang your hopes on that. And plus, being a coronavirus like the cold, it may be possible for you to get another infection in a year to 2 years down the line. We just don't know. Although hopefully if that did occur, you'd still have some immunity and it wouldn't be that bad. But hanging your hopes on herd immunity probably isn't best to do. It's best to do social distancing and to wear masks.
All right, healthwatchusa.org, lots of good information there, particularly a lot of information from a lot of good sources in the HealthWatch USA newsletter. Again, at healthwatchusa.org. Dr. Kevin Kavanagh, thanks again, and we'll talk to you later in the week.
All right, thank you, sir.